Welcome to another Sniper's Hide video review. Today we're going to take a look at the Schmidt & Bender 3-20 by 50. This is in their PM2 line of tactical scopes. Before we get into taking this out to the range, let's go over some of the particulars. Again, 3-20 in the magnification range. It's a step down from their gold standard, the 5-25. Opens up that low end a little bit, gives you a little bit wider field of view. 34 millimeter main tube, much like all the Schmidt & Bender tactical scopes. This is a mil adjusted scope, 1/10 mil turrets. This has the new locking turret feature, which allows you to lock the turrets off, both windage and elevation adjustment. 50 millimeter objective. Okay, we want to talk a little bit more about the Schmidt & Bender 3-20 scope here. We have it on the line. This is the locking MTC turrets. They come down to lock. You have a red lock. They come up to unlock, both windage and elevation lock. Parallax adjustment, illuminated reticle, again 3-20 with the adjustment range. We've been using this scope for a little over a month now. I actually have a version of this that I've had from sort of a pre-dealer that has a Klein reticle. This has the H2 CMR in it. These have the double turn turrets, so as you go up with your elevation, your turret comes up, and this is telling you you're on the second turn. Back down, and you're there. This is a little bit different than some of the other Schmidt & Bender turrets. One of the things that you have to do is when you go to zero it and reset this turret, there's actually 3 places for screws, although you can really only access 2 of them. You don't take this turret off. Unlike turrets in the past where you can take it off, put it back to 0, put it back on, this stays captured. That's the job of that second or third screw that has some glue on it. You just simply loosen the 2 ever so slightly and these will turn free. You have to go into lock position to loosen them, then you can go into unlock to turn them. They won't turn when it's locked, so make sure that you just loosen these back to unlock. Then when it's back to 0 and it's time to tighten it, you go back to lock and you turret. There is some advantages to that. It doesn't get any kind of debris inside. As well, it's not going to turn when you go to tighten it. You may have had this happen to you. You go to tighten the Allen and it turns a click. So now we are in the locked position. You know that it's not going to turn. Both windage and elevation work the same. These require a pretty aggressive base on it. This has a 25-minute GDI. You can go as high as 45-minute and still get your 100-yard zero. So that means you may be in that second revolution when you go to do it. So how do you knock this back down? Well, when you loosen that and unlock it, you need to turn it until it drops back down. Then put it to 0, hit the lock, tighten your screws, and unlock. Remember, you have a 0 stop. This one stops 3/10 past 0. Although only 2 of them really feel usable, it does go just slightly below 0, about 3/4 of an inch. Really crisp scope. Parallax is really good. It gives me a nice focus. The adjustments are dead on. I've done an adjustment test on this scope, honestly, under some of the worst conditions, and it's been flawless. There's 0 issue with the adjustments on this scope. Everything is good. It becomes a question of dollars and use. You have a 3-20 power scope and then you have a 5-25. They're very similar, not only in size and weight, but in price. So you have to be able to say to yourself, what can I do with the 3-20 that I can't do with the 5-25 or vice versa? That's a personal choice. I can't make that argument for you. One of the things I will say on shorter rifles where you want more of the field of view and it's more of a dynamic moving rifle, This is such an unforgiving scope that if you want to talk dynamics, you want to talk run and gun, moving, 3-gun, anything like that, this is probably your better choice. Again, you're in the same length and weight zone, but you're going to get a more forgiving scope, a little bit easier to get behind. So that's a consideration to make. AR-10s. AR-10s are fast, they're dynamic, they move around a lot for some people, so you want something a little bit more forgiving so you don't lose that sight picture. I think your 3-20 is a good choice with an AR-10 type rifle. You want to go and take your GAP 10 or your OBR and really get some good results out of it. Consider the 3-20 over the 5-25. That's something why I have it in the GDI. I can take it right off, put it on my GAP 10. So a lot of pluses on the 3-20. It is expensive. It is bigger than most of your scopes in this range, but it's accurate, it's forgiving, it locks up. Guys can put the holdover reticles in there, lock it up, not have to worry about it. So consider this your dynamic option. Okay, here we are with the Schmidt & Bender 3-20 PM2. 3 times now we've run a box test, and it seems every day the conditions are worse than the other. Today, the Kestrel in the sun is reading 120 degrees. I got a wicked mirage, plus that head and tail wind coming back and forth. So these groups are far from pretty. But you'll get the right idea of what the 3-20 can do. We started off our first group of the day right here. We shot it and just held center, which was here. I made 3 small marks. I went back, read the reticle, and made the correction. That brought me dead center into the middle here, so very good with that. 200 yards away, so this was roughly 1/2 mil adjustment in either direction, so we made a 1/2 mil this way, a 1/2 mil that way, and we were good. Okay, here we have a sniper side target. It has the scope check down the side. How this works is you basically zero your scope, make sure everything's good, and then you run it up with the mils. Have to say the days we went out, the wind was just horrendous. We'll show you some of the pictures of what the wind looked like, ripping the targets off the page. But we did this on 3 separate occasions, running it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mils. We even took it out to 200 yards and did the same thing at 200 yards. And I have to say the tracking, although it doesn't look pretty on here, the tracking for the Schmidt & Bender 3-20 was perfect. The turrets are crisp. They're really nice. They do exactly everything they're supposed to. You have that locking turret feature, so that's something if you're interested in. If you're running one of the holdover reticles, you may want to lock your turrets out. As well, when you're moving, you may want to lock those turrets out. But the scope performed exactly how it was supposed to. Coming back to the range on these several occasions, it zeroed up dead perfect, no cold bores, no crazy things like that. Really good scope going on here. Did the job perfect. Impact. Adjust down to 25 meters for your parallax, so it's good to tighten in for that focus. Inside 100 meters, which a lot of police and will use with that, this will allow you to focus down that far. So it has a lot of good options that separates it from the other scopes. Still very expensive, over $3,000. So you have to consider what's most important to you. If you're a target shooter, if you're shooting 600 to 1,000 yard F-class, this may not be the scope for you. But if you're doing these matches that are more run and gun, more up, over, around 600 yards and in on smaller targets, this might be the ticket.
It is bright.
Very good scope. We've box tested it several times. We've took it to the range and shot it out to distance. There's 0 issues with this. But that 3-20 does allow you to open up the low end and be a bit more wider in your field of view. The 5-25, people will call it a 7-25 because it has a bit of tunneling between 7 power and 5 power. You really don't gain anything just that lack of magnification, but it's not opening up your field of view. This allows you to open up your field of view a bit more. So if that's important to you, if you're on the job and you use your scopes for that, this is the one you want to choose over that 5-25. Sure, you give up a little bit on the high end, but do you really need that? Still 15 inches, so it's not very small or compact, although it is very similar to something like the 4-16 or 5-25. So when you have that 4-16 option, you're very close to the same size scope. Now, weight-wise, it's 2 pounds or 920 grams, so it's not a light scope either. It's something you have to think about if you're looking to put it on your hunting rig or something like that. The scope in this configuration has the MTC turrets, which are the tactile versions. You have the fine clicks in the middle with the heavy thunk. That lets you know you're on the whole mill. A lot of people like that so they can feel it. It's the tactile. I had one of the pre-order scopes, or still have that pre-order scope. It had a little bit of hiccup in the turret, but Schmidt & Bender had it fixed within 1 week turnaround time. It was in their hands and back very quickly, being fixed in Virginia, which is important for a lot of people. But this is the newest model of the 3-20, and it's been dead perfect. I've been using it for 2 months now. I put it on a variety of rifles, mostly my Accuracy International AE, but I'm very happy with the way this scope has been performing. Zero complaints on my side.